And now, here to entertain you all, because every day he's hustling. Side Hustle Cinema.
Welcome back to the channel. Side Hustle Cinema here, and thanks for clicking on this video. Well, it's that time of week again. It's time for another physical media report. And this week we got a ton of horror movie news that came out. A lot of things to talk about there. We got some pre-orders and things that we're all looking forward to. And of course, coming out tomorrow, Tuesday, we've got a ton of releases coming out, at least twice as many as we had last week. So that's going to be fun to dive into that and talk about what all we're going to be picking up tomorrow. And we've got a couple of sales going on that we'll need to talk about as well. All that and a whole lot more on a brand new episode of See You Next Tuesday. Well, this week we got a bunch of horror movie news to talk about. There was some Vinegar Syndrome releases that were announced. We had some Scream Factory stuff that was announced. And just a few other things that mixed in there that I want to talk about. So as always, one of my favorite things to talk about, let's talk about some horror movie news. So last week I had filmed my segment on horror movie news a little bit early and didn't include those Scream Factory releases. So I'd like to just take a minute and go back and talk about those for a second. A couple of weeks ago we talked about Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You coming out on 4K. So we now know the dates on when those are coming out, coming out on April 26th. And they're the special edition, so, they'll be getting those posters if you pre-order from Scream Factory. And we now know that, it's also coming out with that collector's set that comes with those collectible pins from Gutter Garb. It's pretty expensive, though. Not really worth it, in my opinion. It's, it's a lot of money for those pins. You'd have to be like a hardcore pin collector, or this would just have to be like your favorite movies or something to want to pull the trigger on that, I think. But I'll definitely be picking those two movies up. Also coming out on April 26th, we've got Cursed. This was that 2004, werewolf movie. That's a Wes Craven movie. And, this was supposed to be like the Scream of werewolves. Sort of a who's the werewolf, kind of deal. Where you're not sure what character's the werewolf. And until it's, revealed toward the end. Had a lot of, young, sort of a young cast to it. And it was wrote by Kevin Williamson, who, wrote quite a few of the Scream movies. And also wrote shows like Dawson's Creek and The Vampire Diaries. And even though the movie came out in 2004, it really had sort of a 90s vibe to it, I thought. I mean, it kind of felt like a 90s style horror movie. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was super rewatchable. Christina Ricci, she's like, really cute. Everyone likes her. Jesse Eisenberg, played the nerd character really good. He's got his high school troubles, the girl, he likes the hot girl in school. She's dating the captain of the wrestling team. And then you mix in Joshua Jackson and a werewolf. And even Scott Baio. We also got, on April 19th, we got a Hammer horror movie coming out. And it's Night Creatures. And this has been put out many, many times in different Hammer horror sets. And it's an older movie, 1962. I've never seen it. I did kind of watch the trailer and did a little research on it, when I was checking it out. Because the cover, it looks really cool. And it looks like it might be a pretty good movie. I don't know. I know a lot of people have seen it. I've heard a lot of people talking about it. So yeah, I think I would kind of like to check this one out. And I'm really digging the the cover art on this slipcover. And, I guess you get a poster of this one as well, and I think this would be another great poster. And finally, on April 5th, Scream Factory will be putting out Ice Demon. And I knew nothing of this one and watched the trailer, and I gotta tell you, I'm kind of looking forward to it now. I actually just pre-ordered this one right before filming. I pre-ordered it from Target, though. Because it's in, Target's now doing their 2-for-1 sale. I'm going to cover that in a minute. But Ice Demon was in that sale. So if you want to pre-order it in a buy two, get one free sort of deal, it's available on Target.com. Now let's talk about what's coming out in February from Vinegar Syndrome. Well, a highly anticipated movie coming out from Vinegar Syndrome is going to be Drop Dead Fred. And this one is coming out on February 22nd. It's not really a typical Vinegar Syndrome title. I mean, Drop Dead Fred's pretty much a kid's movie. And a lot of people are really excited about it. And that's pretty much because they're in that age range where they were kids when this came out. And so there's a lot of nostalgia for it. Things like that. Me, I'm a little bit older. I remember my nieces and nephews liking this as a kid. And I remember being a little bit annoyed by it, honestly. I really wasn't a big fan. I was a little bit older, and they were all, young, and they loved Drop Dead Fred. Me, it was just another kid's movie. So, unfortunately, I don't have that nostalgia for it. I kind of wish I did. I wish, when I hear people talk about it, I wish I saw it in that, through those eyes. But to me, it's just a guy who's over the top. And, it's got Phoebe Cates. I mean, that's awesome. But, I don't know. I'm happy people are getting it on, a nice restoration here for them. I'm actually looking forward to a couple of the other releases that are coming out. We have Sister Sister coming out on February 22nd. This one sounds more like a little bit of a crime thriller, more than a horror title. But it too is getting a new 2K restoration. Beware Children at Play. This is another one of those kids attacks movies. And from what I understand, there's the ending scene of the movie is pretty crazy, and I kind of want to check that out for myself. I think originally this was a Trauma movie, but it's getting a new 2K scan as well. And this one might be kind of fun. I might be picking this one up. And finally, on February 22nd, we'll also be getting Wolfpack. I watched the trailer on this one as well. It looks pretty good too. Seems to be like this high school football team. They kind of rule the school, and they sort of terrorize people. And I guess there's like a new kid in town, and he sort of fights back against them. So you never know. I mean, it could be good. It's always a little hit or miss sometimes with Vinegar Syndrome. So. But it sounds like it might be fun. The trailer looked kind of good. And again, new 2K scan. And on April 5th, RLJE is going to be putting out Vicious Fun on Blu-ray. And this is a a Shudder original movie. It looks like a comedy horror movie. And I watched the trailer on this one as well. It looks like it might be kind of good. You're never quite sure about those RLJE titles. I've had some really great ones, and I've had some that were just okay, and then there's a few that really weren't very good, but they're always, fairly cheap. And this one is actually included in that Target deal as well. So you can pre-order this one and get it in that 2-for-1 deal from Target. And finally, in horror movie news, on April 12th, we've got Tentacles coming out from Kino Lorber. This one looks great to me. It's an older movie. It's 1977. But it's basically an animal attacks or sort of a monster type movie. It's basically about an octopus that's sort of terrorizing this seaside tourist town. And the artwork on here looks amazing. I really kind of dug this slipcover, and it looks cool. I mean, well, that's it for the horror news this week. Well, let's talk about some other stuff coming out. On May 17th, Paramount Pictures is putting out Top Secret. It stars Val Kilmer, and if you haven't seen this one, you need to check this one out. It is super funny. It's absolutely hilarious. It's one of those parody type movies like Airplane or The Naked Gun, that style. It's so funny though. I mean, you're gonna really enjoy this one. Val Kilmer was really good in his early roles, like Real Genius and then Top Secret. He had some really good stuff early on in his career. This one came out in 1984. Yeah, I was pretty happy to see this one get a release. This is going to be good. On March 22nd, Shout Factory is going to be putting out, another Shout Select title. And this one's going to be The Core. And we got the details on this one. This one's going to be getting a new 4K restoration from the camera negative. Too bad they didn't release it on 4K. They only, were releasing it on Blu-ray, at least for now. But, new 4K restoration, that's pretty good. And firing up the old rumor mill from Geek Gab News, he releases a lot of things that usually come true. And he released 3 bits of news here that I really hope come true. I hope these all happen. I always feel better about it when it includes like a date or at least a month. And one of the ones we might be getting is in May from Paramount. We might be getting the 4K of Beverly Hills Cop 2. This has been kind of expected, to get 2 and even Part 3. Because we got Part 1 on 4K and I think it sold really well. So it only makes sense to put out Part 2 and even Part 3. I think they should go ahead and do that. Of course, Beverly Hills Cop 2, I think most people think that one is the best. That's my favorite. And I also really love 3. I know it doesn't get, a lot of love in the community. But, it takes place in an amusement park, Part 3 does. And I thought it was just a whole lot of fun. Also from Paramount, and this one's even got a date on it, May 31st. And that's The Untouchables on 4K. This would be really good as well. That's got Kevin Costner in it, and this was an excellent movie, and it's one that I think would look really good in 4K as well. And finally, the last one, no date on this one at all, no month, just sometime in 2022, and I really hope this one comes true, and that's Smokin' Aces on 4K. Yeah, if you haven't seen Smokin' Aces, you're really missing out. That movie is so much fun. Jeremy Piven has a bounty on his head, and he's been held in protective custody at a casino, at a hotel casino, and like every assassin around comes to try to claim that bounty. And they're fighting each other. They're trying to get to him. You got cops. The whole thing. I mean, it's just a ton of fun. Great movie. If you guys are still watching the video and you're here now, well, you are truly awesome. Thanks so much, and I really appreciate it. And if you guys would do me a favor and hit that like button, and if you are unsubscribed to the channel, I invite you to do so. It means a whole lot to me. I truly appreciate it. And thank you so much for tuning in every week. Now let's get back to the video. So let's talk about some deals coming up. Full Moon Direct, and I mentioned them last week. Well, I got to mention them again this week because they're having a Valentine's Day sale that is coming up from the 9th through the 16th. in which they're doing a 50% off everything on the website sale. And this includes the movies, their merchandise, everything. They've got a lot of really cool merchandise on there. I mean, the Puppet Master figures. There's all kinds of like these resin statues that they have. They got some really cool stuff. And of course, it always sells out super quick, so you got to be quick on the draw if you want to try and get one of those Puppet Master trunks. It sells out so fast, though. You really got to be quick to get that deal. But there's a lot of cool movies on there. It's definitely worth going and checking out and taking advantage of, 50% off. And another sale that's going on right now. It's going to be going on for the week. And that's at Target. They're doing their buy two, get one free sale. Now, they're not including all the new movies, and they're not including all the pre-orders. But they do have some. You got to kind of dig for them. You got to look around. And as always, Amazon is sort of matching the deal. Every time Target does the deal, Amazon always goes and does the deal as well. And but Amazon hasn't been doing a really good job of it. They seem to be really limiting the number of movies that they make available for the deal. There was a few good movies on Amazon, but for the most part, all the better deals were over on Target. So I would look at Amazon, but I would probably focus on Target. Let me know in the comments if you guys picked up anything from the Target sale or the Amazon sale yet. I made a few small orders, and this is as of Sunday. I'm shooting this on Sunday, so. And now let's talk about all the movies that are coming out February 8th when I see you next Tuesday. Probably the biggest release of the week, well, there's a few actually, but maybe one of the biggest is Encanto. And this, of course, is coming from Disney. And anytime you get a Disney movie, they roll out all the different ways that you can pick it up. You've got the Blu-ray, you've got the 4K slipcover, you got the Walmart exclusive, you got the Target exclusive, you got the Best Buy Steelbook, and you also get a Disney Movie Club exclusive. So many ways that you can pick up Encanto. Also coming out this week from Sony Pictures, the Spider-Man trilogy on 4K is coming out, and I'm surprised that this is as popular as it is, because these movies have been released before in 4K. But, you get a nice new set here, and I guess coming off of the success of Spider-Man, a lot of people are picking this one up, and it's actually showing that it's the pre-orders sold out on Target when I was looking at their website. So it'll be interesting to see if it's in stores tomorrow or not. Also from Sony Pictures, we have Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City, and that one is coming out on Blu-ray. You get the 4K slipcover edition. And there's going to be a steelbook for this one as well. All the artwork looks really nice on this one. And it's kind of a mixed bag. It really depends on who you ask whether or not the movie's any good. So if you're a fan of the movie, you're probably picking it up. If you didn't like the movie, you're probably not picking it up. Well, because I have all the other Resident Evil movies, I'll probably pick it up down the road at some point. Maybe when there's a price drop. Another big release coming out this week is King Richard, coming at us from Warner Brothers. And this one, it's got the Blu-ray and that 4K edition. I really enjoyed the movie. I'm a big fan of tennis, big fan of Serena and Venus. And from Shout Factory, a Shout Select title that I have coming. I was really excited for this one when it was announced, and that is Summer School. Mark Harmon, Christy Alley. He's like a gym teacher trying to teach summer school. And it's just an older, really fun comedy. From MVD this week, we have Ghost Riders coming out. It's part of their Rewind collection. Also, Digging to China and Liar's Moon. All those are part of the Rewind collection. And then also from MVD, we have a 2-pack here, and it's Baja and Amnesia. Some really good titles in those. Digging to China and Ghost Riders. Both solid movies. And from Arrow this week, we're getting Legend on Blu-ray. This one's just the standard edition. And from RLJE, we're getting another Bruce Willis movie, Apex. This one comes highly recommended by Ken from Mid-Level Media. He's been looking forward to this one quite a bit. He speaks very highly of it. And from Kino Lorber this week, we're getting quite a few titles. We got Some Like It Hot on 4K. We got The Antichrist, 12 Angry Men, France, Princess Tam Tam, and God's Gun. Universal Pictures is putting out some re-releases on Blu-ray, and those are Nonstop, Blockers, Atomic Blonde, and Darkest Hour. And coming from Shout this week on Blu-ray, we have Paranoric, Gintama, The Very Final Battle, and Live or Let Die. From Vertical Entertainment, we have After We Fell on Blu-ray and The Hating Game on Blu-ray. And from Criterion this week, we have Miller's Crossing on Blu-ray. And from Dark Force Entertainment, we have Blank Generation and Ride the Hot Wind on Blu-ray. From Paramount Pictures this week, we're getting Foul Play. That's a pretty good movie with Chevy Chase and Goldie Hawn. And then we're also getting a bunch of re-releases, stuff that's been out on Blu-ray before. It's just getting a re-release this week. And that is Murder on the Orient Express, Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit, 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, La Dolce Vita, and we're also getting Star Trek, the original, motion pictures, the first, I think it's the first 4 movies on 4K. And from Mondo Macabro, we have several movies coming out on Blu-ray. We have School of Death, Succubus, Hikiro the Goblin, and The Laughing Woman. From Warner Brothers, we're getting Catwoman Hunted on Blu-ray. It's also getting a 4K release and a Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. Warner Brothers is putting out a couple movies on Blu-ray. We got Stargirl, the complete second season, and Gold Diggers of 1933 on Blu-ray. That one's a Warner Archive collection. 88 Films is putting out Legendary Weapons of China on Blu-ray. And they're also putting out The Flag of Iron on Blu-ray. Kit Parker Films is putting out Walk in the Sun on Blu-ray. Severin Films is putting out Don't Go in the House on Blu-ray. Troma is putting out Surf Nazis Must Die on Blu-ray. Full Moon Features is putting out Remote on Blu-ray. Scorpion Releasing is putting out Privilege on Blu-ray. And finally, Lionsgate's putting out another one of their awesome steelbooks. We're getting La La Land on 4K with that Lionsgate Best Buy exclusive steelbook. Of course, that's the ones with the, the clear slip cover that everyone loves. So there was quite a bit that came out this week. Some really good titles at the front. And then a bunch of re-release stuff in the middle. And some boutique stuff. Filling it out. Pretty good week overall. I'm only picking up a few items this week. I mean, I'm going to be hitting that Target sale. I'll probably hit that full moon sale. But as far as new releases go this week, for me it's probably just going to be Summer School. I will pick up King Richard probably down the road. Wait for a price drop on that one. And Resident Evil, I'll probably wait for a price drop on that one as well. Other than that, I don't think I'll be picking up any of the other items. At least not right now. Yeah, pretty much just Summer School for me. But I will be getting quite a few things, I'm sure, from these sales that are going on. So let me know down in the comments what all are you guys picking up. And that's going to do it for today's video. If you watched till the very end, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for doing so. And as always, stay safe, have fun, keep watching those movies. And I'll see you next week on another edition of See You Next Tuesday.